Merry New Year, everybody. What a ridiculous way to start 2018. Arsenal 7, Chelsea 14. That's what it should have been. A game of errors, mostly. We'll talk about the excellence with the goalkeepers in a minute, Mr. Kanté. But, I mean, let's start off with errors. Anthony Taylor made a few, but not the penalty. Shall we nail this one? It's a foul.
It's a foul. There's contact and it's a penalty. From Arsenal's point of view, it's a bit soft. From our point of view, it's a penalty. It's one of those, when it goes your way, you take it.
He kicked his foot through his foot to get to the ball.
And you don't have to stand your feet. There's no law saying you have to stand your feet. He takes his ankle and he goes down. The referee's got a good position and he dispatches it well. Yeah, I suppose a draw was a fair result.
It was incredibly entertaining. There were a lot of errors, but the goalkeepers were both brilliant. Pedro we know all about for years, and Thibaut again. I mean, some massive saves. The one from Sanchez is astonishing.
The one from Sanchez, and also the shot that comes into his left-hand side that takes the deflection as well. He's quick. You know, we often talk about goalkeepers, the work they do on the training ground when they go down and they get themselves back up again. That's exactly what that's all about. That's a good save down to the left-hand side.
Lacazette could have had a hat-trick on another night, and he's kept them all out.
Absolutely. Comes out, spreads himself well on that occasion. But he was excellent, the Courtois. He's having a fine season.
And at the end of the game, Thibaut can have your shirt, please.
Nice, yes.
Excellent. You can hold one of them up for me at the end of this if you like. Courtois' top 5 Chelsea saves are available to view online, so have a look at that. He was excellent, Cech was excellent, so many mistakes, but one brilliant goal that we thought was going to be a winner. Wing-back to wing-back, Jason. Let's have a look at how it was reacted to. Antonio Conte on the bench after seeing him belting the ground every time Alvaro kept missing it.
I know.
Nothing like a late winner, or so we thought at the time. Here's how Kanté and co reacted in the studio.
Yes,
Sinclair, Langley.
I love Frank. He runs behind the settee. Me and Tommy are hugging. Yes, it was short-lived though. But once you score that late, you do think that the points are in the bag, right? But it was disappointing not to take all 3.
I mean, it happened, and yet there was still nearly a winner after that with Morata one-on-one with Cech and Zappacosta hitting the bar. Here's how the studio was watching that one. Watch Kanté here.
Oh my God. With my leg. Oh, very funny. We didn't know we were being filmed at that stage. Well, you see, Frank's in there running around the settee as well. But listen, I think overall it's a good point.
It was a belting game to watch. Error-strewn, but a belting game. We'll take the point. Still well clear of them. OK, since we've last been with you, of course, 2017 has ended. We'll have a quick touch on Stoke. The only thing we want to talk about, because it was a ridiculously easy game. Danny Drinkwater, what a performance, what a goal. And in the warm-up, he served notice, Jason.
Absolutely. Practice makes perfect. It sits up nicely for him, doesn't put too much power on it, through the laces, and guides it into that top corner. Butler's got absolutely no chance.
Now, speaking of long ranges against Stoke, that leads us to our social media section, and we start with Zappa. He, of course, came off the bench to get the 5th against Stoke, and this was what he tweeted. Excellent pose, very Mario. Marcos Alonso has had a birthday since we were last with you. Happy birthday to him. Cesc Fabregas, disappointed not to be invited. Eden Hazard told us on this very show on FaceTime that he was going to be spending New Year's Eve with his brothers, and here they all are, all of them. Youngest one, Ethan, Killian, who plays for the PL2 side, and of course Torgan, who was with us. And also from social media, Jason, the second worst footballing statue ever after Ronaldo's, Michael Essien.
No, this is the worst.
You think that's worse than the Ronaldo?
By some distance.
Oh, I think there's some decent art going on.
I don't quite know what's happening there.
OK, on a more serious note, with the window open, the first one is in. Jason Kanté, what do you make of Ross Barkley?
Ross Barkley, well, listen, he knows the Premier League. He's English, obviously.
Where's he going to play? Well, who's he going to play for if he plays?
Well, we play that 5-man midfielder as we did against Arsenal. You can put him in and around that spot. He's an attacking midfielder, and the system we play, there's not a direct position for him. You can say he's going to play there. In a 4-4-2, you can kind of give him a position. I think he could probably play alongside Kanté. I think he'll probably play alongside Fabregas. He has that ability to go and get forward and go and join and go beyond the front man.
Here's what he had to say exclusively to Chelsea TV.
I came to Chelsea, you know, I'm ambitious and I'm wanting to further my career by winning things and playing with the best, and obviously it was a big decision of mine, you know, to leave my boyhood club, but you know, I felt this was the right decision of mine to come to a massive club like Chelsea and improve myself and challenge for trophies.
Right then, FA Cup, Norwich City. I think of one thing and one thing only, one of the greatest Chelsea goals ever. Jason Kanté, yes?
Yes, no question about that. There've been a couple over the years, but Yes, of course we're talking about Zola up that end. I was here for that particular game. I think Graham Lasso took the corner, right?
He did, but not in this version he didn't.
Zola. You can do that. You got it in the locker. Wait, the cross has got to be good. Aaron, come on. First try. Oh my God, that's it. Oh! Yay! Yeah, it's close. It wasn't Zola.
Good work, ladies. We have Norwich trivia coming up in a moment, but first the answer to the last question of 2017. Because we were playing Everton away, we asked how many Premier League clubs has Big Sam managed. It wasn't actually all of them. The answer was 7. Well done to Fudit, Say and Kajal, the first 3 names we picked out who got that one right. Ridiculous, that's over a third of the clubs at some point during his time. Now, this week concerns the Canaries, friends of Cundy.
It does indeed. So, we want to know 2 Chelsea Players of the Year scored their first goal against Norwich. Who are they? Thank you very much.
Right. Now, lots of changes for this week's game, surely.
Yes, absolutely. This is why the squad is here. This is the perfect game for it. I know we're away. This is going to be a tricky game. I expect Batshuayi to play. I expect Drinkwater to start. Willie Caballero will start.
Kennedy, maybe?
Kennedy will come in at left back because Alonso's played so many games. And this is where the squad comes into play. So he has to rotate, has to rest players because we've had such a busy December. And of course, we've still got those other 2 games coming up against Arsenal as well.
Yes, hopefully it'll be half as entertaining as the Arsenal game was. Now, it's going to be 20 years since the round 3 exit. For fans of a certain vintage, you will remember when it used to be far more common than that. 1998 the last time, a ridiculous ding-dong with Man U in round 3. 5-3 it finished. Michy Batshuayi is the subject of our bet from our betting partners William Hill. He was 11-10 to score in a Chelsea win. He is now 6-5. He's normally very good when he comes in for these cup games, Jason.
He is, and he has a point to prove. Every time he comes off the bench or plays in these games, he always seems to notch. You know, he always seems to get himself in those opportunities. So, yes, it wouldn't surprise me if he scores at all.
FA Cup round 3 weekend. Norwich City, Jason Cundy, Alan Partridge. Goodbye.
Go!
Carvalho getting up and in! Excellent touch from Thiago and Robin! Oh. What a superb goal!
Oh yes, Gianfranco Zola.
This is Lampard. Oh yes! Duff, excellent delivery and Drogba does score!
Oh, that's a wonderful pass to Hazard. What a goal! What a sumptuous goal!